Hey folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for the City of Toronto for week ending December 1st. Last night was offer night on one of our listings. Fun times. Now before offer presentations, we sit down with the sellers, we did our homework, we pick a number that anything above that would be gravy. And so a bunch of offers came in, and two of them were significantly higher than that number. I'm focusing on those two. So offer A was way up here, and offer B was there's a big difference between offer the top and the second place, both still higher than the number that we picked with the sellers. When I analyze those two offers and I go through them with the sellers, offer A was way up here, but it had a financing condition. And offer B, lower, was firm, no conditions, ready to close, good closing date. Now, I spoke with all agents ahead of time, and we talked about what sellers prefer for closing date, and we talked about all sorts of other things, the shadows that are included. We dealt with all sorts of issues ahead of time on purpose, so offers can come in as acceptable as possible to the sellers. That should be a strategy for the buyers, especially in this market. Now, there's things that buyers can do and things that they can't. They shouldn't do anything beyond their means. However, if you're flexible on closing date, then give the seller what they want. If you don't need that extra fridge in a basement, then leave it out. So, strategy is important here. Well, with the high offer A having a financing condition, my sellers, although they loved the number, were uncomfortable with the financing condition, knowing that this deal could fall apart. And most sellers, when they sell, they've got plans for that money. They know what they're going to be doing with that money. They can't afford for that transaction not to close, not to go through. So they were uncomfortable, nervous about the financing condition. Well, I went to offer B and naturally tried to get them higher, but they came in at their max, not budging. We played a little bit with closing date to make it even better for my clients. We increased the deposit to give the sellers more confidence in their offer, but they couldn't move the number, and they followed my instructions early on when I said come in with your best number the first time because you might not get a second chance. And there's a whole bunch of other offers that came in, they didn't get a second chance. But offer A, the really high one, I went back to them and I actually tried to negotiate them down a little bit because there was a big gap between A and B. And I said, basically, if at that price you need a financing condition, at what price do you not need a financing condition? Maybe come in at that price. Well, they readjusted their number a bit lower and they shortened the financing condition to just a day, but they still needed the financing condition. That made our sellers really uncomfortable in accepting that. And in the end, they accepted the lower offer and everybody was happy. Not offer A people, they weren't happy at all. And I got to tell you, when they see on the MLS, when they see what it actually sold for, they're going to be very upset. But I look at this and I'm thinking a strategy. Now, this agent knew that they were going to be competing, and if they thought maybe we're going to be the only ones, when they did submit the offer, they knew they weren't the only one. There was multiple other offers involved, and yet they still kept a financing condition. And even when they adjusted and made the financing condition shorter, there's still a financing condition. And part of the buyer agent strategy should be to instill confidence in the seller that the transaction's actually going to close. And so many things this agent did was actually the opposite of instilling confidence with my client. So we took the lower offer. This message is for everybody out there. Strategy is so important in all sorts of parts of our real estate industry. It's so important you're working with an agent that has the right strategy, that understands the psychology of submitting an offer and negotiating. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to talk to me, anything at all about real estate, it's really simple. In the description below, there's a link to my calendar. Just click on there, book a time that's suitable for you. I'll know ahead of time this way when you want to talk, and I'll make sure I'm available, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Let's get into the numbers for City of Toronto. I've made the charts a little bit bigger, but the numbers got a little bit smaller, so let's see how that goes. But I have here for City of Toronto, detached only, broken down by week for a full year. So here's December 1st last year, here's December 1st this year. So sales have come down. We went from 231 the previous week to 155 detached sales this current week for week ending December 1st. We expect sales to come down. There's really nothing to look at here as far as drama goes. We expect sales to come down as we head into the winter months, especially the holiday season. Like what we saw last year, sales are going to dip right down. Well, 155 average sold price is sitting at $1,721,000. It's also been coming down over the last few weeks, but I got to tell you, when it's kind of really opens up your eyes when you sit back and you look. Remember last year at this time, everybody thought how high prices were. Well, last year we were sitting at 1.4, 1.5 around this time for the month of December, and those were record prices, the best December on record that we had. Well, seems kind of a bargain, 1.4, 1.5, to where we're now sitting at 1.7 and 1.8 in just a span of 12 months. It's crazy the way real estate has moved so quickly in 1 year. Well, the current price, average sold price of $1,721,000 is 16% higher than what it was last year at this time. Of the 155 that did sell, 79% sold at list price or more. It's a very competitive market still. Listings are coming down, and we're sitting at a 1 month of inventory. So a month of inventory came up a little bit, but one is still extremely low with an average of 11 days on market. And that's all the City of Toronto, not the suburbs, but just the City of Toronto. If we break City of Toronto down into 3 sections, we have the Central sitting at an average of $2,450,000. Way down here is the West Side and the East Side, and the West Side sitting at $1,546,000. And the East Side sitting at $1,322,000. Let's look at those a little bit closer. So we have Central Toronto here. Months of inventory sitting at 1.8. Between the Central, West, and East, Central does have the highest months of inventory. Usually the longest days on market. In this case, it's sitting at 15. That's because the lion's share of the luxury properties are in Central Toronto, and it takes a little bit longer to sell sometimes. 56% of the ones that sold, we sold only 47, 56% sold at list price or more. Looking at the West Side, we're now sitting at 1 month of inventory with average days on market is 11, and 83% of the properties that sold on the West Side sold at list price or more. So very competitive. So we went Central, West. Now the East is the most competitive, the busiest part, the most activity as far as Toronto goes. And the East Side is East York and Scarborough. It's sitting at 0.5 months of inventory. So basically 2 weeks of inventory is all that's out there. Average days on market is 9, and 88% of the properties that sold in the eastern part of Toronto sold at list price or more. 88%. That's going to feel like all of them. So it's different buying and selling attitudes, different buying and selling experiences between Central, West, and East. I do want to show you I've got East here broken down week by week just to see the transition in a course of a year. So here's December last year where we were sitting at about 1.1, 1.2 million And now just 12 months later, we're sitting at 1.3, 1.4 million. Big change. Let's take a look at semis here. Also semis, when you kind of look back, last year we're sitting at about 1.2. We're now sitting at 1.3, 1.4 in a span of 12 months. And semis are sitting at 0.5 months of inventory. 77% of those sold at list price or more. And average days on market is 11. Looking at townhouses, similar picture. We were sitting at about 1 million, 1.1 December last year. Well, we're now sitting in most of October, November here, sitting at 1.3 and a half, 1.4 million. Big change in 12 months. Months of inventory for townhouses is sitting at 0.8. We didn't sell that many. I think it was 21. What was the number? Yeah, we sold only 21 townhouses, but all of them sold at list price or more. Very competitive also when it comes to townhouses. Let me introduce you to 2831 St. Clair Avenue East, located in East York, just east of O'Connor Drive. Lots of great features. It has its own separate entrance to a private basement apartment built originally from the builder. Plenty of space for parking. You could put one car on the driveway here, and you have a massive 1.5 car garage. Lots of room for one car and plenty of storage space. Now, this is a large executive townhouse. 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, over 2,100 square feet. The main floor has this large living room area. The dining room could easily accommodate a large formal table. And you have this massive, beautiful kitchen with stainless steel appliances. Imagine entertaining your family and friends here. The second floor has 2 large bedrooms, a 4-piece bathroom, its own private laundry area, and a cozy family room, perfect for just chilling out, and access to the private deck. Here's your private balcony, comes with a gas line, perfect for barbecuing. The third floor has 2 skylights that light up the whole area. You have 2 more large bedrooms here, one of them being the principal bedroom. Check out the 6-piece bathroom. Principal bedroom is big, has its own walk-in closet and a private Juliet balcony. Look at condos. We sold 342 condos. So we do expect sales to come down again as we head into the holiday season, but sales are still pretty high when it comes to condos. 29 of those sold at $1 million or more, and the average sold price is $728,000. If we look where condo prices were, they were a bargain at $650,000 or so, which was the average around last year, December. Fast forward and you're going up and up and up. We're now sitting at $750 or so as about the average for this month for condo prices. So $650, $750, they gone up about $100,000 in the course of a year. The current average sold price is 18% higher than what it was last year at this time. Of the 342, 56% sold at list price or more. So there's some opportunities in condos to put in maybe a financing condition or to negotiate a little bit more than half are selling at list price or more. You can see the listings coming down. Now the orange is this year, 2021, and the blue are listings from last year. You could see that we've got way less listings this year than we did last year. Although for this week, it's pretty close. And average, months of inventory is sitting at 1.1. So condos is pretty competitive. with 18 being the average days on market. When we look at all the months of inventory of all the different home types and the different parts of Toronto, it's a competitive market. Months of inventory is low. We will have, I mean, it's pretty clear we're going to have the highest, as far as prices go, the highest December on record. Have a great day. If we could help with anything, please reach out to us. Have a great day.